Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Erica, and I am here to talk to you about my stitching and sewing and my failures in life today because I have quite a few. This is my fourth Flosstube, so if you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much for watching. First thing I want to say is I have a lot of comments and emails to catch up on. So you guys are so amazing and so interactive, and I really truly love that and appreciate that. If you've emailed me or commented on past videos in the last couple days, just give me a little bit and I'm going to get to everyone's, I promise. It was just like a crazy week. Just I mean, it really wasn't that much crazier than usual. My life is always just crazy with a 3- and 1-year-old. So I don't really have a whole lot of stitching to show you this week. Not a whole lot of cross stitch. I worked on one project and one project only, so I'll show you that. I don't have any new starts. I don't have any haul. I don't have anything like that because last week I told you I had blown through my blow money for the month, which is just the money my husband and I each have that we can spend on anything we want. And I blew through it like the first week of April, and so I couldn't really buy a whole lot else. But I bought some stuff this morning because it's Sunday, like the April 28th or something, and May 1st is a couple days away, so by the time it gets here, it should be May, so it'll count towards May. And I got lots of stuff from 1-2-3 Stitch, a couple patterns, mostly to go with my two big projects I'm going to start next are the Halloween Village, the Christmas Village. One for my friend Christine, that's a Halloween one, and I'm so excited because I'm not stitching anything Halloween. I haven't stitched anything Halloween in years, so it's my favorite holiday. I mean, it ties with Christmas. I really like both of them. But I need to get stitching Halloween. So first thing I want to do before I get into my whips, and I do have a couple FFOs in quilting, not in cross stitch. I haven't fully finished anything since you guys have been watching me on Flosstube. It's been like a month because this is week 4, and they're all sitting in my closet still. I don't like finishing. I don't think I'm good at it. I don't really know what to do. I've never done it before. All I've ever done is put stuff in a frame. And so I might just need to go do that because that's what I can do and do it quickly and it looks nice. And I don't necessarily have to feel stressed by thinking I need to make it super cute and add ribbons and add bows and add gingham and do this and do that. No, I can just put it in a frame and then it's done instead of just sitting in the closet. But I had 2 fellow Flosstubers shout me out this week, and if you do shout me out on your channel, please come and tell me, email me, tag me on Instagram, comment on one of my videos so I can go and check it out too, because there's just so many Flosstubers it seems, and there isn't. Like I feel like I see the same faces on YouTube over and over, but there's always people that I haven't found yet. So if you mention me, I might not ever know it, so tell me. So the first one was Jen's Crafty World, and I watched her latest video, and she's super sweet, so go check her out, and I'll put all the links below. And then the current situation, and they are pretty freaking funny. I really enjoyed watching them. I really wanted to get a margarita on the beach with them after watching their latest video, so I really appreciate it. I took videos. I was watching both of your guys's, or all 3 of yours, Flosstubes where you mentioned me, and I took a video of the part where you mentioned me and I sent it to my mom. So that's how cheesy I am. But anyways, I really appreciate it. Okay, so going into my whip, this is the only thing that I worked on this week. And I watched my last video and my camera doesn't focus. I use my iPhone, so if there's a trick, I'll even try to tap on it like the last time and it never focused. So if there's a trick to getting your iPhone to focus during videos, please let me know. But this is Jack Frost's Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. And I'm laughing because this is gonna be one of my major fails in life when I show you what I've done. Y'all, it has been a day already. And my husband went and got donuts again this morning. And so this is like the second time we've gotten donuts from this place, and probably my second donut in years. I don't eat pastries usually. I'm just not a big, like I like sweets, but if I want a sweet, I'm gonna get a cookie, a brownie, or a piece of cake. Like I'm not gonna get like a croissant or a jelly roll, or no. It's gotta be chocolate and sugar. But anyways, they don't have a lot of gluten-free donuts, and I have celiacs, and so he found this place and they do have them. So last week I had like or 2 weeks ago I had an M&M one, and then this morning I had a peanut butter cup one. Y'all, I am so high on sugar right now. I'm already being distracted, and I've got bread in here. So I would say I'm pretty close to being done. I have a lot of white to do. So this whole sign needs white behind it. There's gonna be snow everywhere. I need to finish this tree and add some tree stems and then the border, and that's about it. A couple little details on Santa and the house. I'm using all the called for colors except for the snow. They called for ecru, and you could not see it at all on this fabric. And so I went with just straight up white. I think that's what it's called, it's white. And, okay, this is so bad. Okay, so last week I mentioned how I wasn't a super fan of the variegated floss because you really can't see much of a variegation, if any. And I am doing just one single stitch at a time. So when you use variegated floss, you're supposed to just do the 1X instead of, you know, you do one stitch for 10 spots, and you go back, and no, you do one at a time to get it to show. I get it, and I was doing that. But apparently my entire stitching life has been a lie because, and I kind of thought that this was the case, and I think I even asked this in my first or second video. When I stitch, okay, so, you know, for 14 count, I only stitch on 14 count. And it always says to use 2 strands of floss. So here, I got my 2 strands of floss. I would thread the needle, pull it in half, and start to sew, or start to stitch. So it actually turns into 4, not 2. And I know that, I can do math. 2 times 2 is, whoa, the clouds. 2 times 2 is 4. I can do math. But I guess it just never really clicked that this was not right. So I was watching a couple tutorials this morning, and I guess people like thread, so like if this was a big old needle, they thread the needle and then they just let a little bit hang, and then there's the rest of it, and then they kind of start stitching like that. Like to me, the needle, this would eventually come off the needle, but I'm sure it doesn't. Or you could just, you could just use 1 strand and thread it and double it over like I like to do, and then stitch from there. So for 10 years, I have been doing cross stitch. I don't want to say wrong, because there's really no right or wrong, because I still like the way that it looks myself, but I have been doing it a non-traditional way. So that explains why you can't see the variegation. It explains why every time I've gotten a cross stitch kit, I have to go out and buy double the floss. I figured I was doing something wrong, but I don't know how it happened. I taught myself cross stitch, like I said, about a decade ago, if not longer than that. Maybe I watched a bat tutorial or read a bat tutorial online, and I saw somebody else doing it this way. Maybe I just didn't think about it. And so now I'm kind of in a quandary because, like I said, I really like how it looks. I mean, it's obviously very full. So do I keep doing this? Do I switch to using a legitimate 2 strands or stay with my 4 strands? I don't know. I feel like because I am going to do this as the series, I feel like I have to continue. I'll try and see what 2 strands looks like. And if it's not very noticeable, then I'll just go ahead and switch to 2 strands to save on the thread. And so you can actually see the variegation. Because I started using, you know, I complained last week about wagon wheel because, well, I mean, there's only one thing left in there. There is like no variegation to that at all. There's not. No matter how I stitch it, 1 strand or 2 or 4 or 18, whatever, there was no variegation. But I was using ones like, this is English Ivy. And I know you can't really see it, but there is some variegation in that. Like I can clearly see it, and it still really wasn't showing up on this pattern. A little bit, but not as much as I would have seen like in the model stitches or when other people are doing it. So I really want to go down to using the correct floss for fancy floss so that you can see the variegation, but then I need to do it for all the flosses in the project. So I made that order with 1, 2, 3 stitch this morning, and I got 2 more of these. It's lamb's wool, Witchell, 14 count Ada. I just love it. I think it's a beautiful color. It's not too dark. I am not really a fan of the mocha, the really brown. To me, this is just a nice beige. Snow will pop on it. The Halloween Village will look good on it. Like, it's just very versatile. But now I kind of want to call them tomorrow morning and be like, hey, can you switch out one of them for a 28 count? Who am I? Never thought I'd do 28 count. And I did take a look at a 28 count fabric at Joann's or Michael's the other day. And, oh God, it looks so tiny. Oh my gosh. Like, it just, once again, a decade of stitching on this. And then to think of switching, it just hurt my head, literally hurt my head just looking at it, trying to imagine always having to remember to go over 2 squares instead of just 1. So there's one of my first major fails of the week, or I guess of the decade. whatever. I want to save money on floss, and so I will probably switch to the 2. It's just gonna look a little weird to me. It's gonna look a little, I mean, it's gonna look a lot less full. So, okay, we're at 10 minutes. Going into some sewing, and the giveaway for this week, my question is going to be, spoiler alert, do you quilt? And if not, do you do anything else aside from cross stitch? Because I know I do show a lot of quilting on here because I do a lot of quilting, and I think a lot of you also do that as well. And if not, maybe you just like seeing it because I think it's kind of cool. But when it comes to doing the giveaways, I have only done cross stitch related giveaways so far, and I would do some quilting related ones if the vast majority of the people watching also quilted, or sewed or did something with fabric. Because like this, oh my God, this is making me so anxious. You guys, I'm so OCD about organization and stuff. And oh, it's a door jam. I was like, what is that white thing on the carpet? My mom sent me a huge box of scraps yesterday, and I have to go through them still. So that's what most of that is. It's fabric that I might sell. Oh, and that's another thing. 2 other things. Oh my gosh. And I didn't write them down. I have show notes. I'm gonna produce my own show. And I forgot to write these 2 things down. One, I might start a de-stash page because I have a lot of fabric, not so much cross-stitch stuff, but some old cross-stitch magazines that I bought. I might have bought more on eBay last week. I won that auction, if anybody cared. And things, just craft-related items that I don't need or use anymore that I might sell to de-stash. And instead of putting it on like eBay, I just hate eBay. I love it for buying things, but I hate selling on it. I thought about just creating a new Instagram, like Bendy Stitchy, Michelle G has a de-stash account. I thought about doing that. So if you would at all be interested in a lot of fabrics and cross-stitch stuff, let me know, and maybe I'll start a de-stash account. Oh, second thing, I think I might do this as a live video next weekend, because kind of like Kimberly does it at Fat Quarter Shop, I really enjoy interacting. And it would be really cool to have my laptop here so I could see comments real time and interact with you guys. So let me know if you want me to do that, because I think I will, even if you don't want me to. I think I'm gonna do that because it's no different. I take this in one take. I don't edit it. I don't do anything to it because I don't really know how and I don't have the time. And so I thought, wow, why not just go live and be able to interact with you guys more? So I don't know if I'll do that every time, but I think I will. So I always do the Flosstube on the day that my husband doesn't go fishing because he has to watch the kids. And I'm not sure which day he's gonna go next week. It always kind of just depends on the weather and what his friends are doing. So as soon as I know that, I will post on my Instagram what day I'm gonna go live. So if you wanna catch me live, you can join me. It'll be early in the morning. It's usually around 7:30 Mountain Time. So that's 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. But yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, Erica D House, I will post there. Probably in my stories, not so much in the post, but I don't know, whatever, when I'm gonna go live, because I think it would just be really fun, and then we can interact more. Oh, last thing, and then I'm gonna get into my sewing, I promise. I kind of find it so funny when I watch Michelle G, Bendy Stitchy. She's one of my favorite Flosstubers. She is so serene and peaceful and always looking at the positive and keeping it positive. And I feel like we're very similar in a lot of ways just because we're about the same age. She's very intelligent. She likes to read. She's kind of a nerd, like in a really good way. I just feel like we would be really good friends, but we're also very opposite. And I thought about it the other day, like if I had to come up with a tagline for my channel thus far, it would be the Angry Stitcher, because I seem like I'm angry about a lot of stuff. I make a lot of mistakes and I get frustrated and I throw things in the trash. And I'm like, screw it, never doing this again. Chuck it across the room. And I just can't picture her doing that. So it's kind of funny when I watch her and I'm like, wow, we are the same and yet very, very different. But she's great if you haven't checked her out. Okay, so moving on to sewing. I tried triangle paper. Oh, no. Yes. Triangle paper, half square triangles this week. And I made 16 half square triangles in about 15 minutes. I mean, it was really fast. And I still need to trim off, there's a little like tail on each side, but I'm gonna make some amazing, amazing wall hangings with this light teal, a dark teal, a pink, and a yellow. It's gonna look really cute, I think. So it was really easy. I got the paper from Fat Quarter Shop. Triangles on a Roll is the name of it. And really, really fun. If you like quilting or sewing or doing, you know, half square triangles, could not believe how fast that went. So the next thing is I am doing their sew along, the 2-color quilt that I changed into a 3-color quilt because I'm extra. And I can't remember which blocks you've seen before. And you know what, honestly, I might have just done these 3 last week too, and so you already saw them. But I have the fabric cut to do the next 2 already, and so I'll probably do those tonight. I wanted to do them before this video, but I had to finish something else instead. And you'll see in a minute what my new baby is. So it's just, they're all from Lori Holt's Vintage Christmas Book blocks that she did. And I did them with, obviously, red, gingham, and red polka dot. And there's 9 total. So as soon as I get these next 2 done, which are gonna be pretty easy, I can get them done in one night, I will be with 5 done and 4 left. I can only craft when, I can't tell, no, they're just going ballistic. I can only craft when my kids are asleep. So I get about an hour to an hour and a half during nap time, and then 2 hours or so at night, because I try not to stay up past like 10:30. Sometimes I will cross stitch with them while they're awake if they're watching a cartoon or if they're playing nicely together, which is starting to happen more now. It's so exciting. And sometimes I will, like I cut fabric yesterday before dinner because they were in the other room that's blocked off the baby gate. I could see it, but it's like our family playroom. So they weren't anywhere near me because I'm super paranoid about the rotary blade. Okay, so the next thing, I am going to open, or I should say reopen, my Etsy shop. So I have been on Etsy, oh my gosh, I honestly think it was like 2007. Maybe not that long, but it's gotta be like a decade. And I started off with jewelry, and then home decor, cross-stitch stuff, coasters, stuff like that. And then some vintage items that I would find at, I gotta even get my haircut so bad. I think that might be my Mother's Day gift, is a haircut. Some vintage items I would find at flea markets that I really liked. And then very briefly, I got into kids' toys. I made Montessori and Waldorf inspired toys. So it was a lot of painting wooden things like rainbow puzzles or peg people. I made Play-Doh from scratch, which was amazing, smelled so good. I added essential oils. I did custom crayons. So you guys, I've done it all. Like, I seriously, I cannot name all of the small/failed businesses that I've had in my lifetime. It's been a lot, but it's been fun. So I might reopen, or no, I'm not. I am going to reopen my Etsy shop. I'll put a link down below. Gosh, I keep getting notifications and it's so distracting. Oh, and last time, I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram post, I was like, why do I make so many faces? I was like, and I took screenshots of all of them because I just have to, I don't know, wallow in how weird I am. So I'm gonna open up my Etsy shop and start selling some of my sewing stuff. I love, 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 love to sew. I don't exaggerate when I say it is therapy for me. I had a follow-up appointment this week with the gastroenterologist about my endoscopy because I just had that in March, like right before I started Flosstube. And I mentioned to her, she's like, you know, how have you been? Do you have any other new symptoms? And I was like, well, yeah, I've been getting headaches, and I've never had headaches. Part of it is being 6,000 feet above sea level and still adjusting to that. You know, we've only been here 6 months. And I don't drink enough water, and I'm starting to run more. And then she's like, well, are you stressed? And then, like, as she says this, my 1-year-old is like literally breaking my sunglasses, $50 sunglasses. My 3-year-old is, I don't know what he was doing. I think trying to get on the exam table. I was like, yes, I am stressed constantly. It's a good stress. It's just, any mom of young kids knows it's non-stop and it's very busy. I don't know where this was going or why I started telling you guys about my medical history at all. I think just because I was saying that I can only craft when they're asleep, I guess. I don't know. I had too much sugar. Oh, crafting is my therapy. That's where I was going. Okay. And I used to go to counseling when I was in Alaska, like literally the first week we moved there. We moved from Florida to Alaska with a 6-week-old in the dead of winter, or start of winter, October, which from Florida to Alaska in October, it was like 70 degrees on the beach, and then all of a sudden it was 20 degrees, and I was like, oh my gosh. Then within a matter of a couple of weeks, the sun leaves, and then you get 4 hours of light in the winter. And I'm sitting here in this house with a newborn, pretty much, and I can't drive. I've never driven in the snow. I had a 2-door Saturn that was like 10 years old. And I told my husband, I was like, I have to start counseling or something because I'm going insane. Like, I feel like I'm trapped in my house. Not only could I not drive on the snow, but like, someone posted in the local spouses group the other day that she didn't feel confident going shopping by herself without her husband because she didn't know how to handle the baby. And I think a lot of people gave her flack for that. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. She was young. I was like, I was a grown woman when I had my son. I was like 30 or 31. And I still remember feeling scared almost to go shopping with him because what if he starts screaming in the middle of the store? How do I handle that? How do I calm him down? How do I shop while trying to, you know, make him happy? And yeah, it's very stressful. So anyways, started counseling and it was very helpful. I haven't gone here. I feel I don't have the anxiety that I did, a lot of postpartum anxiety. I'm just always very stressed. And so crafting is my release. I love it. I love doing it. I don't love the cutting part, but I love the sewing. I love hand binding. I love all parts of it. I don't need 50 quilts in my house. I don't need a bunch of table runners I'm getting ready to show you. And so I might as well sell them. We could always use some more money. You know, my husband's military. He makes more than enough to support a family of 4, but more money would be more opportunities for my kids, more soccer, more swim classes, more family vacations to go see our families in Florida and Ohio. So anyways, Etsy shop will be back open, and as I finish projects that I just don't need to keep, I will list them there. So the first one is this, and this is honestly going to be listed for like the cost of materials only, because you can't even see it. I'm not even going to point out the flaws. It's fine. It's not 100% perfect, but it's like 95% perfect. So it's just this cute, patriotic patchwork table runner. Oh my God, you guys. Wait till you see the back. With patriotic roosters and cows and this cat. Yeah, cat's just chilling. But look at how cute it is. This was scrap fabric that my mom sent. And so I found the perfect use for it. This one I did machine bind. I needed to trim some threads still. But you can't even see the stitches on the front. So yeah, so this will be listed in the Etsy shop soon. I just need to take some nice photos for it. It's maybe 36 inches long. I kind of like them a little bit short just because I do have so many grabby, sticky baby hands and they can pull things off of the table. So this way it's a little bit less likely that that happens. So that's my first one. And then I have one other thing, project finished, that I wanted to show you, and then I'll get to the giveaways. Oh God, you guys. This is literally my pride and joy. You guys have no idea how much I am obsessed with this. I think that it turned out beautifully. The block is from Lori Holt's Vintage Christmas book that I morphed into Vintage Americana, and kind of came up with the idea on my own. Here, oh God, I don't know if the camera is gonna like flip it, but it's red, white, and blue stars. Look at those points. Look at those points. Oh my gosh, they matched up so beautifully. So it's just a cream. The cream doesn't have any design on it. And then the red and blue stars. And it is, gosh, I don't remember the size, maybe 42 inches. And, oh my God. So my last fail story, and then I will get to the giveaways. I was working on these the other night, and my friend Christine, I was messaging her, we voice messaged each other back and forth all day on Facebook. And I messed up, the binding. I messed up the binding on the patchwork one. And I even had the binding tool. So the binding is just a thing, I forget, not everyone is a quilter. This is the binding, this little strip that goes around to secure your 3 layers together, your top, your back, and the batting in the middle. And you sew it on the front side first, and then when you get to the end, where you have to join the 2 pieces together, that's really hard to do to make it look seamless. So I even have this binding tool, and I watched the tutorial from Jenny at Missouri Star, and I thought I did it correctly. And then I go to the end, and there's like a 1-inch gap in my binding. I can't attach 2 pieces together. Oh my God, I was so mad. I texted her a picture, and I was like, what the F? This is the worst tutorial I've ever watched. They have no idea what they're talking about. I've ruined my binding. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm so over this. And then I calmed down, as I always do. And I rewatched the video, and I was like, oh, I missed a major point that I was supposed to do. I made a mistake. Go figure. It wasn't the professional who's been quilting for 30 years. I made the mistake. So I sewed on the binding that I had just cut off and fixed it, and it looks fine. But then I messaged Christine. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just so nice when you make mistakes because you can learn from them. And I really think I'm good at quilting now because I have made so many mistakes and I've learned so much from them. Any guesses what happened next? Can you guess? Do you have an inclination of what happened next? I made another huge mistake. Huge mistake. I sewed the binding on backwards. The entire table runner backwards. So you're supposed to sew it so that the raw edges are all aligned, and I did the opposite. And for some reason, I just did not realize that until I went to flip the binding over to the back to sew it there, and I realized that I had raw edges all over my back instead of this nice folded edge. Oh my God. At that point, I wasn't even that mad because I had just gotten mad about something else. And so I was just like, whatever, I'm done. And I went and I made my popcorn as I do every night. And normally I'll just go to sleep shortly after that. But I actually ended up getting out of bed, getting the seam ripper, and ripping out the entire binding. And the next day, which was I guess yesterday, I went ahead and I hand bound the back of this. So it's really cool when you hand bind it. You can't see the stitches on the back. You can't see the stitches on the front. It's like magic, like poof. Your quilt's all bound and nobody knows how because they can't see the stitches. So anyways, this is going to be in the shop as well. I love it, love it, love it, love it. But I have enough fabric to make a couple of these because I think I got a yard of each of the red, white, and blue. And as you can see, I did not use a full yard. So I have enough to make a couple. And it's got the same amazing background. Now, fair warning, if there's multiple of you out there fighting over the chance to buy this, which I'm sure is gonna happen, this is the only one that I will ever make that has this backing on it. I don't have any more of this fabric. So any future ones, I think I'm gonna still go look for a cute vintage color print like this, but it's not gonna be the same. So there's that. Okay, now moving on to giveaways. I've had coffee here the whole time and I have not had any of it. It's probably super cold. Oh my God, that's awful. God, I see people on Flosstube all the time drinking coffee throughout the whole thing. Do you guys just drink cold coffee? Because that's disgusting. Okay, last week's giveaway was a really good one, if I do say so myself, and I just did. It was 5 Christmas patterns. I guess I could kind of the Christmas snow cat. Oh, Santa working on his list. I really like that one. All the little Santas. And then another Santa one with his little friends. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. This reminds me of something that I would have found in my friend Katie's house in the 90s. Her mom decorated her whole house in this like folk arty, like wooden signs, and just like at the time I was like, oh my God, that's so gross. Like, who decorates their house like that? It's just so weird and old people-y. And now here I am 20 years later decorating my house like that. But this all reminds me of stuff that she would have had in her house. So the question I asked was, what is your favorite holiday to stitch? And the winner of these charts is Barbara Harper. So I will respond to your comment, Barbara, but also just go ahead and email me your address. For the winner last week, I'm gonna mail yours out tomorrow. So again, I'm sorry, it was like a crazy week. We lost an entire morning just going to my endoscopy follow-up because it was a 70-minute round-trip drive. And then we were there for like 45 minutes. So the whole morning was gone. And then my son has soccer one morning, and so the week just went by really fast. The giveaway for this week is another chart that I showed off last week, and I just, as much as I love it, I know I'm not gonna get around to stitching it. It's a super cute kitchen sampler. And it says $5 charge for whining. If you want breakfast in bed, sleep in the kitchen. And can it be an accident that stressed is desserts spelled backwards? I love this so much. It's so freaking cute. And, you know, change the colors up to match your kitchen. So if your kitchen isn't red, blue, and yellow, change them to aqua and white, or whatever your kitchen colors are. I don't think we have kitchen colors. That's like a rich fancy folks thing. We just have a basic kitchen. But if you want this pattern, comment below and tell me, do you quilt? And if you do not quilt, what other crafts do you do? Because I would just be like, I'd just be interested in knowing, and I'm nosy. So like I said, if a lot of people say that they're quilters, I will start doing some quilting related giveaways. Some fabrics, maybe some quilt patterns, who knows. So that's all I have for you this week. Like I said, it was pretty lame in the cross stitch front because I only had the one project, but my 1, 2, 3 stitch order hopefully will be here middle of next week because they usually ship really fast. And then oh, there's a little stray kitty. Then I can start working on my Halloween village, which I already have. I got one pattern coming. So I'm doing the Halloween village with the Mill Hill kits, but I'm just gonna do them all on one piece of Ada. And I have a Wanda's Wand shop coming. So I can start Wanda's Wand shop. And I have the Hometown Holiday series that I'm gonna start. And then my friend Christine's Halloween pattern that she picked out. So those will be my next 3 starts all within the next week or 2, like as soon as everything gets here. And then there are a couple other patterns that I found that I really wanna do. Oh my gosh, there was one called, I think it was like Liberty House or something. I don't remember the person who did it. It was $26 for this pattern, and it was not a big pattern. I think it was like 40 by 200 because it was really long. Why on earth would that pattern be $26? It was so cute though. It had the founding fathers on the first floor and these little cross-stitch people signing the Declaration of Independence. And then it had Martha Washington, looked like working on a quilt. And then it had an eagle in the top room. I don't know why there's an eagle in the house, but I guess there was an eagle in the house. And I was like, wow, that'd be really cute because I feel like I stitch a lot of the stuff that everybody else stitches. And I want to start stitching things that just aren't as popular. And I've never seen anyone stitch that one, but now I know why. The pattern's $26. But there are a couple other ones that I really want to work on too that might be my smalls. And so this isn't really a small, and I need to finish, you know, 7-part series. Halloween Village is not a small. Christmas Village is not a small. My friend Christine's will be, and I could probably get hers done in a week or so, and then I'm gonna keep rotating out smalls. So I have a couple big projects that I don't typically bring downstairs around the kids, just too much. But I like to have small ones that I'll usually stitch in hand downstairs. So I'll be doing a couple small patterns. I just haven't quite decided which ones they're going to be. So I should get going. It is 8:18 here. We are going to go on a hike today. Not sure where. It's supposed to rain in the next couple days, so I really just want to be outside all day today. My kids love being outside. I love being outside. I just hate, my husband's already downstairs watching Sports Center, and if we stay at the house, he's going to just have that on all day long. And I can't stand it. I don't really like TV being on. That's just me. I am the same type of person. I was watching The Situation, and I think they were talking about, it might have been the very first episode, like music and listening to music, and one of them was like, I like to listen to NPR because I can't handle like the music, hearing that, and I'm the same way. I can listen to people talk sometimes, but I get very distracted very easily, and I don't have ADD or anything like that, but like the music, I just, like people who say that they need music to study, you're out of your minds. Like literally you are out of your minds. I don't, or maybe I am, because I could not possibly study something with music on in the background. Way too distracting. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I can't believe it's almost May. Oh, I forgot it's almost Mania. Like I said, I'm not really doing Mania. I just am going to keep doing what I always do, which is like rotating 4 or 5 projects at a time. But that's exciting because it's just going to mean more videos, more people posting new projects. And so I just can't wait to see what everybody's working on. Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you next week.